What's up, everybody?
Hey, hey, hey.
No formal intro today. I forgot that I have my Latitude giveaway in the intro, and that's over. It was over today. Today I announced the winner. I contacted Cody Harris won. So congratulations,
Congratulations.
Cody. We picked it off of the email list that went through. So um, that's why there's no intro. But y'all know the deal. Go check out ASIO gear if you need some hunting clothes. Get your 15% off with that BTE code. Same with Latitude. They got we got some more stuff coming out with them. I messed with their gear all this weekend and Sunday. I went up to the Mobile Hunter Expo, and they got that new Maverick saddle that came out. That $200 saddle, the more affordable one.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's nice. I think I'm just going to use it this year.
Oh, really?
It's a single panel. It's so compact and or it kind of folds up real nice, and it was comfortable.
Where was the Mobile Hunter event at
It
this
was up
last weekend?
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Is that Dan was there, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
the one you helped him with?
yeah. I filmed that talk or whatever that they did.
I saw it on YouTube. Or no, it came across my Facebook, like one of the I think the Mobile Hunters United page.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't part of that page on Facebook, go join it. There's a lot of good guys on that page.
Yeah, that one. No, you're talking about the Mobile Hunter page.
Yeah. Mobile Hunter United is one of a couple of guys I met. One of them, Zach Robb. He's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a big lone wolf guy, and
Yeah.
he started, man, good people. And another guy, Kalen Pope, I met him hunting last year up in Illinois and made friends with him. So go check that page out if you want to get some good, it's kind of like the Beast page,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the Hunting Beast page, except, it's just different people.
Yeah. There's 3 of them now. There's the Beast, that one, Mobile Hunters Unite, and then now there's like Mobile Hunter too.
Yeah. I need to create one because I want to be the moderator of my own Facebook page. I can kick people off when they say stuff that's just mean or rude. These moderators need to step up their game, dude, because there's a lot of
hate everywhere.
There's a lot of hate on the internet, man.
Yeah, you got about halfway. You got about halfway ignore about 80% of the stuff that goes up on there. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't look at them too much anymore. If I feel like if I make a video that's relevant to one of those groups, I'll just throw it up there and move on. But other than that, that's all I really do on there.
Yeah, I got trashed this weekend. I put up a little helpful. I told you about it. I'll tell everybody else about it. I put a little helpful post up about a buck that a friend of mine's got on camera for like 6 or 7 years, and he was mature when he first got him on camera. And all the experts out there like to chime in, and I just thought it'd be cool to see what people would think, as far as age of the deer is. I mean, I'm not big. Shoot what makes you happy, so I don't judge people on what they shoot. But it's a 9-year-old buck, and you don't really get to see those out in the wild very much. So I posted a picture of it up and got like 200, and I mean, it's still going. It was like 230 something comments on it on just my Tennessee deer hunters page, and everybody's positive and had good stuff to say about it. Right, there's a couple people who are like, nobody cares, and I was like, well, you did, and 200 people did.
Yeah,
I kind of like throwing in those comments, but try to be nice about it. Anyway, so then I did another post to say, why the deer appeared, as a senior deer to me, just based on his physical features, and kind of circled them and, made a little post about that. Some hater, just got to hate, man. Got to tell me how to do it. That my ideas are BS and all this. I'm like, man, come on, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help some. A couple of guys are new to hunting, and they're like, man, I had no idea. I thought that was like a 3-year-old. I was like, man, you see that pot belly on that deer?
Yeah.
Here, I'll show everybody the deer just so they understand what I'm talking about, because it's pretty cool. You just don't get to see these deer.
No, not very many deer make it that long.
No,
dude. John knows how old those deer are.
Like, oh, absolutely.
It's like they're like his kids, man.
There's kids. So if y'all can see it, let me see. I got to get it right. So that's the deer right there. Hold on. Okay, so those are just the things I was showing, like the big head, the big fat belly, and how his front shoulders are kind of losing a little muscularity. Now the deer is at least the deer's at least 9 years old. He's probably older because he was mature when you guys pictured. This was the first one of the first pictures. This is in 2020, so you can see he was a big old. He's a
Oh,
lot
he's
bigger
a giant.
bear.
Yeah.
And then here he is last year. So you can see he's kind of going down last
Yeah.
year. And then I got one other picture of him in velvet back in. Okay, here he is at 7.5. So that's him at 7.5. So you see, he's probably got his best rack between 5 and 7, if that's his age.
Yeah.
But he's definitely, you see that pop belly's a lot more pronounced. And, you know, but he you can tell he's really going down. I just thought it'd be interesting for everybody to see that, because you don't see deer that old in the wild.
No.
You know, and it was funny. Everybody that commented on it, the most people were 6.5, which is probably, they were thinking there's no way that deer is going to be 9 years old
Yeah.
and alive still. So everybody had a pretty good idea that it was an older deer. But you know, just kind of interesting, something to show people. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But evidently, you know, you got to know what their teeth look like. Or
Yeah. I've never killed a deer that old, that six years
Mhm.
old. My dad killed one a handful of years ago that was 6.5, but with, you know, they got the teeth or whatever. But
Mhm.
and it was kind of, I mean, it had a big rack on it, but its body was lacking a lot already at that age.
Yeah, and they're all different too. You know, some of them they're like us. You know, some of them are gonna go downhill quicker, or maybe
Sure.
they're not as big, or
They've had a rough life. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
they don't have as good a food or whatever, depending on where they live. But
sure.
that's an ag field mid-south deer right there. So
Yeah.
you know, pretty good. You know, but his rack's gone down a lot this year. Like he's probably lost 20 something inches from his prime. I mean, he's nowhere near what he was. He's real heavy, but
Yeah.
he
Just
was
a,
never anything but a 10, and he has like really short G2s. He's always had those. They're only
yeah.
about maybe 6 inches long, and his other times are, you know, 10, 11, you know, something like that. So, and he has long beams too. So
John going to kill him this year?
I think
Or
he
what?
wants to kill him just to get rid of him, because he's
Yeah.
running off other deer, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he runs with a really good, nice buck that's a 10 that he's been with. But what's weird is the 10, the first pictures he got, figured he was like 3.5, or 3 years old, because it's summer. And he was running with him and another ancient deer that is no longer with us. And
I like how you say that.
yeah, he's passed on.
Yeah.
And so
RIP.
he's like the last man standing. And then that other 10, he comes and goes too. It's amazing these deer don't get killed over there. It's crazy. But anyway, so the 10's with him again this year. So you know it's the same deer, because it's the same bachelor group every year. And the 10, man, he was a great deer. He was probably the first year he got pictures at 3.5. He's probably in the 160s. Man, I don't think he's budged from the 160s. He might
Yeah.
be high 160s now, but his rack is the same every year. And he's, you know, now he's probably 5.5, possibly, or let me see. He was 3, 4. Yeah, so this is the third year he got pictures. So he's probably 5 years old now, maybe 6 at the most. But he just hadn't. I wonder if he'll do anything next year. That's if there'll be a big jump, you know, between
Yeah.
5 and 6.
How does John decide what to shoot out there? So if everybody knows, John, he kind of manages people's properties. It's
Yeah,
one of his like jobs he does is
yeah,
manage these like big farms for people. So
yeah,
like that's how Patrick has all this information about these deer, right? I mean, John
yeah,
just knows them and sends
yeah.
them to you, talks
At
about
an
them.
undisclosed location and secret. It's like Area 51. But
Yeah.
he just, I think what he's trying to do is he's been trying to get the landowner on a really, really good buck. And the landowner's, he's not really a big deer hunter, but he just wants to he wants to book deer off the place, which is totally capable of doing that. I think his dad killed one. He was in like the high 180s off the place years ago. And he says, I want one bigger than my dad's, put them both, you know, on my wall or whatever. So that's the whole reason he's been over there putting all this work in. And there've been maybe a couple that would be in that league, and just never materializes. So he's back at it again, trying to get him his deer, you
Booner.
know, this year. But it's cool, man. Some of the pictures that the deer in the pass through, the deer that are just come through during the rut are crazy over there.
Yeah.
You know, they're as good as deer in Iowa all day long. I mean, there's
Yeah.
deer over there that would be better than Iowa, but that's Mississippi River bottom down here in the South.
Yeah.
Got like that. So
Yeah.
pretty
Different
good.
soil down there.
Yeah, it's fun watching him keep up with him. He's like what you said, they're like his kids. Like he gets attached
No,
to
I
them.
can tell when he talks about them, he just knows them very in depth and just, Yeah, and like
He had a
anything that shows up, he's all over it.
Yeah, he had a 10 that was on there, that he waited for a long time, for like 4 years or so before he decided to kill it, and it looked the same every year too, and it was probably he says he doesn't think it was. I think it was in the 170s, but he doesn't think it was. He thinks it was
Yeah.
smaller. But he waited and waited and waited to kill that deer. I mean, he did not want to. I don't know, just never. I actually saw it with him one day. We were putting out salt and jumped a deer like 15 yards sitting on the edge of a riverbank. He ran off. It was huge, man. One of the biggest deer I've ever seen in the wild. Pretty cool.
One more sponsor I got to talk about, and that's Stealth Outdoors.
Yeah, I know you missed one.
Yeah. You guys, I need to get Lou on here again sometime. He's always entertaining to talk with, but go over to Stealth Outdoors and get you some stealth strips. He's offering 10% too now to everybody. BTE 10.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, man. It's sticky as heck. If y'all don't use it, it will not come off.
Yeah,
easily.
it's
not
good
easily.
stuff. Yeah, I probably got some. I always keep some laying around for odds and ends. But oh yeah, plaid. I got the plaid pattern.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
When do you start making that?
This year.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He makes that in a shirt too now, or a jacket.
Okay.
I think same material and everything. So
yeah, it's good stuff. It'll last in the rain and all that stuff too, because I use it.
Oh, it'll last forever.
Yeah, it's super sticky too.
Me and Dad used it the other day for something to fix something. I can't remember what it was now though.
I could have used it on my blower the other day. The handle broke on it, and I could have just
Yeah, you should have. You should have.
Yeah, I used duct tape, Gorilla tape, but it'll probably come off. That stealth tape would never come off.
No. Friday, me and Dad went. So we had a ground blind or a box blind blow over in the wind, and this is on the farm where the farmer is like, just taking down all the trees and stuff that I've always complained about.
Yeah.
I shouldn't complain. I should just be thankful I can have a place to hunt out there still. But anyway, there's along this creek. There's like a row of trees on either side of the creek. That's all that's there, and it's all just big fields outside the creek. And me and Dad were up in this little point fixing this box blind, and we went down to the creek to move a stand because they were tearing out the woods where the other one was. So we moved it just because it's going to change patterns of the deer. They're not going to be up there where they're working, And we have another, and we got done with the box blind, and we were driving back down to the creek, and I pointed this walnut tree that I got a stand in, and I almost shot a deer out of it last year. And I said, "There's a stand in that tree," because I couldn't remember if I told Dad yet about it. I said, it's a good spot. Like it's if you can imagine, there's cornfields. There's a big giant cornfield, and in the middle of the cornfields, there's a waterway for like where tile and stuff runs, and that waterway goes into this creek that the tree stands in. And there's a little group of trees that go out into that waterway. And it's the only trees that go out into the field at all. And those deer walk down that waterway into those little trees and go down in the creek and then walk the creek, And I just pointed that it's a beautiful walnut tree. It just has limbs everywhere. The tree stands just in there perfect. I'm like, they can't see you up there. It's awesome. We get down, we're putting up the other tree stand, and the guy in the excavator drives up to us, and he gets out and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing, man." I said, "You keep tearing these trees down, I won't have any place to put any tree stands," just joking with him. He goes, "Is that your guys' tree in that walnut out there?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I got to take that out today. I want to go get it." I was like, "Oh man." I said, "Yeah, well, let me put this stand up and I'll go over there and grab it." So we took it down. We actually, I'm hoping that he just takes down the little, because there's a little finger that goes out into the cornfield, and I'm talking just like a 10-yard finger that goes out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he leaves some trees along the edge of the creek so that I can just put that tree stand back up right there. Me and Dad actually just stashed it in the corn. So I'm going to go down there probably sometime this week and see what they did exactly. But the farmer did come up to us, and he was like, he's apologizing over and over again, which it's his property. He can do whatever he wants, but I guess the creek is eroding into his field right there where that tree is, where that waterway is. So he has to go out and put new drainage into the creek right there. And he's
Yeah.
going to fill in that area and take them trees out. So,
Man, do they eat those walnuts?
no, I've never seen him eat walnuts. Maybe someone can comment on that, but I've never seen him eat it. And we got a lot of walnuts around here.
Yeah, I know they eat pecans like
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
in the Delta. Like pecan trees are really big in the Delta.
I don't know if they can really get to them walnuts before they rot, because their walnuts are great big. They got all
Oh
that
yeah, that's right.
shell and stuff on it.
Yeah, they're really. I forget they're bigger than
Yeah,
pecans.
they're like an
Smaller.
apple, the size of a dang
Yeah.
apple almost. I mean, that's
That's right.
exaggeration, but they're way bigger than an acorn or pecan. But so yeah.
I remember I was hunting with a friend and he was a little green, and he was like, "Oh yeah, look at there. These the deer are really going to hit those acorns right there." And I was like, "Those aren't acorns." He's like, "Well, what are they?" I was like, "Those are hickory nuts."
Oh yeah.
I was like, I almost just went and let him go with it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, he won't be hunting my white oak tree, so I'll just let him think these."
Good squirrel hunting spot.
I had to help him out.
Yeah, that's funny. But I am behind on trail cameras. I'm kind of waiting on Exodus to get their app done.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait one more week, I think, and then if it's not done, I'll probably have to do something. But
I can't get into running the cameras this year. Like,
me either. I'm not real disappointed in it.
I almost think I'm like, man, I'm kind of sick of running them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when I look at it, they really haven't helped me kill any deer. I have learned a lot from them. I have killed a few deer using cameras, but not immediately using them, just locating the deer, knowing they're there. But like other than that, just I mainly go off sign and terrain, and I always see good deer. And a lot of the times, it's not even the ones I have on camera. So I'm thinking I might just kind of get away from using so many. I usually run like 20 or 25, and I don't think I'm going to run that many this year. I just don't. I don't feel like paying that bill, and I don't feel like keeping up with them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it adds up fast.
Yeah, I might just use a lot of those other. I got some other cameras like stealth cams that I could just
like SD card cameras.
Yeah, they're not cellular. And I just put them out before season and try to run my cellulars later on. It's been so hot though, I hadn't felt like really doing anything.
Yeah, well, then you work out in the heat all day too, and then
Yeah, I just can't do it.
Yeah. Well, should we talk about our topic, because we probably have a lot to say about it, and it'll probably lead into a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
So I did some studying up today, and I kind of took some notes. And in Matthew, Jesus talks about the end of times to us a little bit, and there's essentially 10 signs of the end of times where Jesus will come back. And I'll just go down through them here. Let me get my Bible open. I got them bookmarked, so hopefully it doesn't take me. I'm not flipping through pages on you guys a bunch. So it's predominantly in Matthew 24 is where I'll be at. But the first kind of mention is there going to be an increase in war and conflict? And that's in Matthew 24:6. I told you I wasn't going to be flipping. I got to make sure where I'm at here, though. I was on the wrong page. No, it wasn't. Where's 6 at? Oh, right here.
After 5.
Yep. Oh, here it is. Okay, I was just looking too hard. It says, "And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for this must take place, but the end is not yet." Did I read both of those? 6 and 7. Okay, 7. So 7 says, "For nations will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famine and earthquakes in various places." So, it's hard to know what Jesus was like to the extent what he was talking about, about this, but we definitely have some rumors of wars constantly.
Yep.
And then conflict all the time anymore. And when I was studying this, let me get through this and we'll talk about it some more. But number 2, the second sign was an increase in natural disasters. And that's the 24b. I accidentally read that already. Or 24 verse 7. And that last part about famines and earthquakes in various places. And all these are but the beginning of birth pains. So third, Then we're going to have an increase in Christians, the persecution of Christians. That's the third thing he mentions in 24. That's in 24, verse 9. So then they will deliver you up to tribulations and put you to death, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then we got the fourth thing is an increase in false prophets and messiahs, and that's in 24, verse 11. It says, and many false prophets will arise and lead many astray, which we're definitely seeing that right now.
Yeah.
And then the fifth thing that Jesus talks about in Matthew is an increase in lawlessness and wickedness. So that's in 12. And because lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold. The sixth thing is you're going to have an increase of knowledge, and that's over in Daniel, actually. Little Daniel. That's every time I hear Daniel.
Yeah. You're scaring me over here.
Well,
Every one of those is like happening
I'll talk
right
about it a
now.
little bit. But Jesus says that it's not a reason to be scared; it's a reason to be prepared.
Yeah.
Anyways, every time I hear Daniel, you ever heard Theo Vaughn talk about little Daniel?
Mm-mm.
Oh, never mind then.
I'm behind on my Theo.
Okay. Well, it's in Daniel 12, verse 4. So there's going to be an increase in knowledge, Jesus says. Where is the verse 4 here? My eyes are just not that good anymore. Okay. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Which, we got these right here. Like, our knowledge has increased so greatly in the last 15 years just because of the internet, essentially.
Yeah, social media.
And the vastness of the information we have now is just like unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can ask the internet things now, and it will answer you. Like,
gives you all your answers.
Yeah. And then 7. This one comes from Luke. So let me flip over to Luke here. I got them all bookmarked, so it shouldn't take me long. In Luke, Jesus talks about an increase in immortality and sexual perversion.
I mean, immorality.
Yeah, immorality. What did I say?
Immortality. We're all going to live forever.
An increase in immortality. No, immorality. Sorry. 17, 28.
Talking about the end of the world, Chris.
Yeah, sorry. If you're behind, just skip back a little bit. So in Luke here, 17, 28. Sorry, these little words here. I go, okay. 28 says, likewise, just as it was in the days of Lot, they were eating and drinking, buying and selling, planting and building. But on the day when Lot went out from Sodom, fire and sulfur rained from heaven and destroyed them all. So will it be on the day when the Son of Man is revealed. And then the 8th thing Jesus talks about was there's going to be a spread of the gospel will increase. So that's a good thing, right? That's something we want to happen, the spread of the gospel.
That's what we're hoping for.
Do what?
So that's what we're hoping for. We need a revival.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you have revivals. Christianity's ebbed and flowed over time, and there's been a revival, but I think we're getting a little. I feel my gut tells me we're getting a little bit closer to the end of things.
Yep. And then,
I could be within 100 years, 200 years.
Yeah, we and this is all just like we don't know. Like Jesus says, we don't know. He
didn't even know.
Yeah. So these are all just us, just telling you what he said. He's telling us. So this is back in Matthew. The spread of the gospel will increase. It's in Matthew 24:14. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be proclaimed throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." So, I don't know. I don't know what the extent of that is. How many people have heard the message of Jesus? I'm not. I don't know. I'm not Jesus. So,
Christianity is flourishing in the world.
Yeah.
It's not in the United States. It's dropping in the United States right now, but like Africa and Asia, specifically China, it's blowing up. So, those places, we don't see it here I think in the West has really lost their way.
Yeah.
Everything's against God and Christianity and the Bible and the teachings of Jesus right now. And a lot of those things you just talked about, you can see
All right,
them
buddy. I love you.
in everyday life now. You see those things,
Yeah.
especially now we're on the cusp of like artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
which is all the knowledge in the world immediately, that's some crazy stuff when you
Oh
think
my
about it.
gosh, dude.
That's a game changer. And then after that, you're probably going to have some famine because people won't be able to eat.
No.
They won't be able to support themselves. You're going to have crime and all that when you have self-driving automobiles, which we're pretty close to having on a pretty big scale. People at the grocery store that aren't going to have to check you out anymore. Walmart, those jobs, a lot of those little jobs are going to be gone. Um, yeah, we're at a pretty crazy place right now.
Yeah. All right. So the ninth thing is an increase in false sign and wonder. And that's in Matthew 24. Let's see here. 4, false Christ and false prophets will arise and perform great signs of wonder so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. And then finally, the 10th thing, I had to turn my page here, is all this will increase in frequency and intensity is
Yeah.
essentially what's going to happen. And that's back in Matthew 8. I think I accidentally read that earlier, but Matthew 24 verse,
Yeah. You're
verse
talking
8.
about the birth pains.
Yeah, the birth pains. That's what
Mhm.
he's talking about then.
Yeah.
As you guys know, if you've ever seen, which Patrick can't speak on this, but if you've ever seen someone give birth, the pain increases in intensity and frequency.
I
as
can
we
give birth, right? According to some people, you and I can give birth.
What?
We can give birth.
Oh yeah,
You
sure.
and I, yeah. It depends on what side you're on.
Yeah, I think you're talking about that sexual perversion again. So
Yeah, we can chest feed
yeah,
and give birth.
I don't know if this isn't off topic, but it's so weird to me that people identify by their sexuality. Like it's just weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't think all the people that uh I don't think all people that are homosexual, I don't think they're all like that, but just
No,
the
not for
loud
sure.
ones, you know.
Yeah, the out and proud ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
a lot of that stuff, just all the bad things are, bad will be good and good will be bad. And we're seeing that, I think,
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
In
Boy,
my
go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that I was done. I was saying, in my opinion, that's what we're seeing right now, just
Yeah.
everywhere.
Did you see the video Chad Wright put up on 3 of 7 the other day about women leading nations?
No, I saw it. I haven't watched
Yeah.
it yet. I've tried to watch 2 or 3 times. Something's come up.
It's weird. I mean, and this is, we, I always like want to preface this, like don't get mad at us for this. Like, this is what God tells us. Like,
Hmm.
and it says whenever God is going to be judging a nation, women will lead and children will influence.
Hmm.
Um, and man, that's a little scary to me when he talked about that.
You know where I stand on that.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it last
Yeah,
week.
I don't believe we should have women in those kind of positions, especially not when you're dealing with leaders. Like, you look at the majority of the world, right? And their leaders are male, and there's a reason for that. And are they really going to respect a woman that comes and tries to tell them, "Hey, you got to put your guns down"? They're like, "You have no clue what you're talking about, lady." There's not a.
What's Putin going to think of that, or Kim
He's
Jong
not.
Un? Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna laugh, and send her tucking her tail, and then then he'll be emboldened to do more stuff. So, um, whatever you think the answer is not a woman. So I don't. I definitely stand on the side of us having a male always as the president.
yeah.
As long, even if he is half dead, um, you know, a corpse.
Well, he's out.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, even if that's who it is, I would rather that than some woman. I
Well,
think it would be better.
God designed women perfectly and men perfectly. Like, there's a reason that we fit together so well. I mean, to grow His kingdom. That's what He made them for, and they're perfect for a lot of reasons. They do a lot of things we don't do.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. They're tough, man. Their women are
yeah,
really tough. but there's a certain toughness they have that we don't understand. And then there's a certain, the aggression that men have and the violence that you can inflict is important to be a leader on the earth. I mean, you have to, I'm not saying you have to just be violent, Genghis Khan or something like that, but you have to have that in you where, you have to understand
controlled violence. Yeah.
Right. You have to understand it, right?
Yeah.
Because a woman cannot understand violence. They just don't get it. Like, they don't understand why men would do what they would do when they would fight or when they would declare war or kill or whatever. Women don't commit a whole lot of murders,
Well, it's like what percentage of people in jail right now are men? It's like
probably like 80%.
Yeah, I think, or more, maybe even.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, and it's because we're just wired differently, and that's good. That's a good thing. Good for the women because they're protected.
Right. That's like,
the God made us all our certain ways, and is trying to do this equality and all this other crap. Like, nothing's equal. Nobody gets an outcome that's equal. It's
Have you seen who we have as our like health advisor for the United States right now?
Oh yeah, Rachel Levine.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Mr. Rachel Levine.
She's probably like 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah, and he's a trans, which whatever. I mean, I don't. But yeah, which one you talking about? The one with the hair?
It's probably who you're talking about.
Admiral Rachel Levine.
But it's just like, why are
I mean, I don't care that I don't care if they're they just don't act like they're not, and like they're a woman and they speak for all women, because that's what they've done with that. That job and a fake admiral outfit. It's just bonkers, man. Like, everything's so upside down.
Insane, man. It's insane.
Yeah.
Too many bad things are going to happen with this attitude of like, let's do this for publicity. Like, this is how we get the the Secret Service failing miserably. It's because of this crap,
Yeah. Well, I think that was, planned.
Yeah. You know what I mean, though.
Come on, dude. They put a useful idiot in there, just like they did with Biden. They put a useful idiot in there, and they say, hey, look, we're going to put this guy in there, so when he messes everything up, we can blame it on his age and that he's dumb. Well, they knew what they were doing, and that's what they did with the woman that they put in that position. They knew she has no business being in that position. They said, hey, put her in there so that when we accomplish our objective of the assassination, hopefully is what they wanted, then we can just blame it on incompetence, fire her, and she goes off and nobody remembers her name, and you got this going on. There's a lot of dark forces. I think I really do believe there's a lot of dark forces in our government, in our country right now that are we got to pray. We got to pray, and we got to spread the gospel, because the more people that'll come to Christ and see that His way is the only way. I think that in doing that, we can get our country back. But if we continue to go the path we're going, which is away from Christ, it ain't gonna last much longer, I fear.
Yeah.
But I mean that's not really the end we were talking about.
No.
End of America.
That's a little off topic.
But I mean, we can talk about
go over to the 3 of 7 project and listen to it. Chad does a better job of explaining.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things too, Josh, that have to happen, like with the Bible. Certain prophecies have to be fulfilled before the tribulation. And you and I mean, I don't believe I'll be here. You shouldn't be here. If you're a Christian, a true Christian, and not a Christian just in name only, then you'll go, you'll be gone. You won't have to worry about that. But if you're not, and you do have to stay here, it's going to be pretty rough I think the first 3 years are great, a lot of peace and prosperity, and then at 3.5 years, the Antichrist unveils himself, and that's when things get really hard and all the persecution and stuff. From what it says in Revelations, that's when it starts. Not the first 3.5 years; it's the latter half. So if you're a Christian and your name is written in His book, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're not, you better figure out which side you stand on.
Yep. Just like past peace says here, essentially is what Patrick's saying. Yeah, and that's what Jesus was making clear there in Matthew too. Like, this is not to scare you. This is to get you ready,
Yeah. You got to be, I mean, it's like a lot of these guys preach, and not all of them, like I say preach, like not literally preach, but they ascribe to these values, right? Be mentally strong, physically strong, and spiritually strong. Those
Yeah.
three things. If you can have those three things, you really don't worry about much in your life, you know. Um, I think if one, being spiritually strong will help you with the last two, with mentally and physically strong. So get that in order first. Get your house in order. If you don't know Jesus, figure out who he is and if he's for you, and hopefully he's for you. He is for you, but hopefully you will follow his teachings, is what I'm saying. And be on the side of good when it comes down to the battle of good and evil, whenever that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easy. I mean, it is easy to look through these 10 things that Jesus talks about and kind of start to worry about it, because, um, we, it's just human nature to worry about these things, right? I mean, it's kind of scary, we have the unknown to us, even if you are the strongest Christian ever,
Right.
you don't know what it's going to be. You don't know.
Chris, you didn't ask a controversial question. I was in law enforcement for 10 years. No, I don't think women should be in law enforcement. There's some good officers, but I don't want to act like we didn't see your question. I saw it.
Yeah, we'll get to all the questions.
Yeah, we'll get the questions. Just put them down, and he'll go right back through it too.
Yeah, you can
No,
keep
we
going
don't.
on that.
Yeah, we don't really have a Bible reading plan. I
We
read.
probably should. Like, I
We
thought
probably.
about that. I thought about talking to my pastor. I was talking to my pastor about this. He always asks how this is going. But tonight we had a pool party we had to go to this afternoon for Huck's school. They have like a little before school pool party for all the kids. But pastor was there with his kids, and yeah, I should have. I ought to talk to him about like a good way of planning these things out.
Right. So, this isn't Chris your friend, is it?
No,
Okay, Chris, like what you're
I mean,
asking.
yeah, he's my friend, but not who you're thinking of.
Yeah, not the same guy. So, Chris, what are you asking for our advice? Or are you just asking us for like a question? Are we reading any books to deepen our understanding of the word? Are you asking like a question like how to do it, or if we're doing it that way? If I said that right. Like, do you have a question on to help you better understand a way to do it?
Patrick, elaborate on the
6
work
minutes
note.
a day. I do. I always preach a 6 minutes a day thing. If you can get in your Bible 6 minutes a day, then you can read it in 2 years. I read the New Testament in probably about 4 months, maybe 5, doing it 6 minutes a day, which actually turns into reading it like 6 minutes a day, and then all of a sudden you are reading it like 3 times a day and stuff like that, or 20 minutes or whatever. And it really lit a fire. You get in the Old Testament, it's a little harder to stay motivated. For me, it was. So I try to read every day. I fail here and there. I don't do my 6 minutes like I did before. The New Testament is really where the Old Testament kind of backs up the New Testament, but the New Testament is what, the covenant we're under with God. So that's the important thing to read, and that's the good news. If you didn't already know that, I don't know if you do or not, but you're looking for a good book to read. The Bible's good. The Case for Christ is probably good. I hadn't read that one, but I want to.
Mere Christianity is a good one. I think that's by C.K. Lewis or whatever. There's a book called Not a Fan. That was really good. I read that. It's about, it's a Christian book. I haven't read that
Phil
many
Robertson.
books other than the Bible, but
Phil Robertson says read it every day, and just every day read it. Read part of the New Testament every day. If you read it all again. Just to strengthen your. For me, it helps me strengthen my faith, my understanding. Plus, I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I have a pastor I've talked about him before, Cliff Connectley. Ask Cliff is his YouTube channel, and I get a lot of good. He's helped me understand Christ better than anybody, other than the writings.
I read The Richest Man in Babylon last week.
Yeah, you told me about that.
That's not a Christian book.
Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read that too this year.
Oh, is that the one? Did Kiyosaki write the other one too, or just Rich
Yeah.
Man, Rich Dad? I know he did Rich Dad Poor Dad, but did he do The Richest Man in Babylon?
No.
Okay.
Richest Man in Babylon's an old book.
Okay.
And then right now I'm reading. Let me look. I'm trying to think what it's called. Leadership and self deception.
Chris, I would recommend just starting in the New Testament and reading it first. I don't know how your mind works. I know how mine works, and I feel like jumping back and forth might be hard to get, like, I guess, to digest it, because they're so different from one another. Um, and it kind of just if you've never read the New Testament, I don't know what book you're in the New Testament that you're reading, a chapter there and a chapter in the Old. I think the New is more important for you to read than the Old. And then you can always come back to the Old later on. I don't know everything. That's just my opinion on it. Josh might agree or disagree, but I think you definitely want to read that New Testament as soon as possible if you haven't read it already. Just so you can further your relationship with who Christ was and understand him now, because the Old Testament's not going to help you go to heaven. The New Testament will, if you're not already there.
I mean, the New Testament would be where to start at, probably, especially because it's, like you said, the Old Testament's a big chunk to jump to bite off.
It's a lot of stories.
Like I said, Matthew starts about, this is the New Testament here, and this is the Old Testament. It's a lot to get through. So
yeah, and we read a study Bible too. Study Bibles are really good.
Yes, I would recommend that study Bible
for sure. Yeah, because that way, if you have any questions, you don't understand something, I would get one that's translated either the NLT or NIV or the English
Standard Version. Yeah,
Standard Version. So that you can read it. Because if you're trying to go the King James route, you'll be confused. It's hard to read. You'll have a headache after reading that thing. It sounds cool, but
I have the King James. I have a King James study Bible, and then I have this. This is actually the Lutheran study Bible is what I typically read, and it is English Standard Version. But I've read the King James too. But
I think mine's a Life Application Study Bible, red letter, and it's the NLT. And it's raggedy as all get out.
Yeah.
That's a friend of mine bought me that Bible about 20 years ago, and took me a long time to crack it open, but it's all good now.
Yeah.
Like Zeke said, get saved first and read what'll save you, and then go back and learn about all the other stuff.
There you go.
I
told my pastor he should come on with us some night.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I'd like to figure something out, like how we could do it where, I don't know. I mean, this is fine. We just need to figure out a plan, like a lesson plan, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. That way people can kind of study it beforehand too. But
we're not theologists, though. We're just two guys that love Christ.
Right.
And we hope that y'all have the same passions as us.
Sometimes I just like, we always get to our topic, but I like BSing about,
everything
right now.
Yeah, we're casual.
It's good to hear people's opinions on things too, because I think it's important to have different opinions on whatever it might be. Trump getting shot in the ear, or the
Camelot
coming home, whatever it is. They're calling us
or
home.
the Olympics. What do you think about the Olympics,
dude? I don't know. I mean, it was insane. It seems like. Seems like the Biden administration put it together. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Either that or RuPaul's Drag Race. One of the two, I saw something that a pastor said that was really good last night about how to treat that situation. It said all the outrage and stuff. You got to understand, a lot of those people don't know Jesus. None of them probably really know Jesus or have a relationship with him. And, to pray for them and not judge them. That's Jesus's job, but love them and try to show them, the best side we can of being a Christian. And that's not to judge or get angry or condemn what they did or all that, it's to show them the gospel and to show them really who Jesus was through our own actions. And I think as Christians, we're human, but a lot of Christians, they want to get all in an uproar and get mad when somebody does that. I mean, Jesus literally told you, during his 3 years, he was, preaching the gospel on earth, that they hated him before they hated us, and that we would be mocked and all that stuff, and that our religion would be mocked. And it's just funny to me. Like right now, the two religions that are under the most scrutiny are Judaism and Christianity. And the one that gets elevated is Islam, and it's not really religion. Well, LGBTQ is kind of religion, but Islam, and then just moral relativism is really bad. Where you say, well, Josh thinks that, shooting deer, well, I'll just use deer for instance. It's not really a moral thing, but shooting deer and cutting the head off is okay. I think you shouldn't do that. Which one is right? And then if you look at it from the scripture, from a religious standpoint, right? Like God didn't put those animals on the earth for us to just kill for a set of antlers. To feed us. So but I guess a better thing would be moral absolutes, right? If I think it's okay to murder, why am I wrong? That's my opinion. That's kind of
Yeah,
the
it's insane.
that's going around. And and you might say, no, it's not okay to murder. And I say, no, it is. If I think it's okay, if I think Hitler was a good guy because of what he did, then that's just the way he's a good guy. How are you to tell me I'm wrong? So you have to have a moral absolute. And moral relativism which is what's being taught in our country, in our schools, is like, no, there's no absolutes. And it starts with this whole men can be women and women can be men and things like that, where like true absolute truths that we all know there's two sexes, like that's the first attack on it, right? And then the next attack will be morals, morality, which we get from God. We don't get from culture. We don't get from, community, which is a lot of the moral relativism people say, which that goes along with atheism too. But we get it from God because he instilled in us, in our conscience, how to act and behave. And he also gave us 10 commandments and, a bunch of other rituals that the Jews got, in Leviticus, but that doesn't matter anymore, of course, because of Christ. But the 10 commandments, the moral law, is forever, it's universal. And we just know it's right, but there's an attack on that too. And I think things like what happened at the Olympics, it's just it's just to further degrade morality, right?
Yeah.
By saying, no, you can do this. So what? So Jesus stood for all these good things. Well, these people are good too, and they stand for good things. Like, why can't it be both ways? And it's because it can't. Like, it can't. Like, those people aren't good. Jesus was good. All of us are crap, right? We're all terrible. And so he was the perfect example. And then they take that stuff right there and put all those people up in front. And, do I like seeing that kind of stuff? No, but at the end of the day, you just got to pray for them, pray for your enemies.
Yeah. To be completely honest with you, I didn't watch it. I haven't seen it.
I've just seen Facebook posts of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the picture's enough for me,
Sure.
and, the pale horse coming in with the angel on its back. I don't know if you heard about that one too. That was on there. I've seen that. Yeah. They had a pale horse ride into the Olympics, a white horse with an angel on its back. There were just a lot of like biblical references that were perverted, basically, just for show or to put a thumb in the eye. And that's where I don't understand it too. Like as a business model, right? Like that would be the equivalent of you and me. Okay, let's say we're in business and this channel is a business for us and we make a lot of money off this channel. Well, why don't we alienate bow hunters on this channel, right? Let's talk about our crossbow hunters, because they get a hard time anyway. I'll pick on my crossbow hunters. So let's just go in here and let's say if you're a crossbow hunter, you're not a hunter, and we just trash them every day. Well, why would you do that when those people want to watch your product that you're putting out and want to learn from you and, or whatever? Why would you sabotage yourself? Like there has to be, I think that there's some evil force behind that's forcing these organizations to do that, because a lot of big major organizations have been doing that lately. It doesn't make sense. Target, Bud Light, all these things, they're self-sabotaging, and it has to be some kind of demonic figure that's just, pulling the strings behind the scenes. I think it's BlackRock. Zeke will know. I know.
Oh, here we go.
But it's BlackRock and Raytheon. But it's BlackRock probably. But there's got to be somebody back there going, "Hey guys, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go out there and you're going to push this anti-Christian stuff on all our viewers." And Christians are sitting here wanting to watch the Olympics, right? They just want to be in peace, man. We just want to watch a cool opening game. We want to watch Snoop Dogg carry the torch.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny and it's cool. This guy that we've known since we were kids, that's been rapping all this time, he's become kind of a cultural icon. We just want to see him run up there, light the torch, and have some cool Olympics and watch these people compete, right? But now you put this stuff in front of us that as Christians, it's like, I can't support this stuff. Like, it makes no sense from a business aspect. Like, there has to be somebody holding something over.
Why does everything have to be a political statement anymore? Like, just freaking sing a song or something. Have, I don't know, the Lumineers come out and sing something, and then have Snoop Dogg go light the thing and get on with it. Like, why does everything have to be some kind of political show for everybody?
I don't remember it being like that when I was a kid.
Me either.
I mean, politics have already been around forever, but I just don't remember everything on earth.
Dude, even if the percentage of your audience that would be into that has to be so minutely low that, like, what are they doing? You know what I mean?
Look what James said. I can always count on my boy James. Demons and fallen angels are real. I think so too. I for sure think God didn't get them all. I think he didn't get them all, or they've just kept coming since the flood, man. Because it just doesn't make sense how the stuff. It doesn't make sense to me, man. Everything's got to be, and it's so political. It's just anti-human. Like, it's not even.
When did politics get so dang religious? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like, not religious is not the word, but like just so culture, like they're so engraved in the culture now. It's so weird.
Social media.
Yeah.
They realize they can twist people's buttons by using God and the devil and the different the alphabet group and race relations and all that. So what do you say? They're all in for response to Garner and the revolution. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't know. You can't get mad about it. You got to just kind of laugh about it. I mean, I don't know what you do about it, honestly, because I don't want to laugh about it, but at the same time, it's like,
I would be interesting to see the attendant, like the watch hour or the viewership of the Olympics this year has to be down.
Oh, I would imagine it's down.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched a second of it this year. I don't care. I mean, it's just again, like everything else, turns into a big dog and pony show
So you can outshock who between the left and the right, which really it's kind of like good and evil at this point, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but that's in the political arena. And I think the people that vote, some of them are evil, but I think most of them are just blind idiots that don't pay attention. That's in both parties.
Yeah.
But I think I think that's a lot of it. But like, if you're paying attention and you're going along with that stuff, I mean, I got to question your sanity.
Like, okay. I think, there's this line right here, and you got the right side of the line, then you got the left side of the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got like January 6th people on the right side that are, way over here, the people that would go to the White House and like do that.
Right.
And then you got like way over here where you got like people crying in the streets of when Trump won on the left, like they're throwing this big fit in the streets. Like you got these minorities that are way over here. I think most people are probably just barely on the left side of the line or just barely on the right side of the line. And we're all just kind of going like this down the line, and we're all probably about the same people, But then the only thing we hear about is these guys that are like just way, way over here on the right. Or I don't know what the example would be, but like, the guy, a guy that dresses up in a costume and goes into the White House after Biden's elected, and then you got the way far left where it's like, where someone climbs on top of a building and takes a shot at the president. It's like, it's, but I think both parties project that that's what the left is and that's what the right is. And it's like, no, we're all just like this close together, going down the middle here.
Yeah. I haven't. I think, and the voices the loudest voices are the ones that get the attention.
Yeah.
And I think that, and the only thing is like they don't condemn one side because of the media's owned, and then the other side
Yeah.
gets condemned every chance. Like that's ammunition for their little down. And this is like, they don't. But I mean, it does work in reverse because people that think logically like us go, hey, didn't they burn cities down like 6 months before all that January 6th stuff, and nothing happened to those people? As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, Kamala was
Yeah.
wanting to get them out of jail, and she was telling people to donate to some resource to pay their bail for the people that looted and did all that stuff. So I mean, like you have a vice president elect or a presidential candidate actually at the time saying this. I mean, it's so radical and so
Insane.
nuts
It's
on both
insane.
sides, and everybody just wants to be left the heck alone, man. Let me
Yeah.
worship how I want to worship. Let me keep my money. Let me hunt and do whatever I want to do in my home and in society, as long as it's within the bounds of the laws that we have set forth. And leave me the heck alone, government. Quit taking my money.
Yeah.
Send it to Ukraine. Tired of it.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I think we talked about this beforehand. I'm ready for November to be over and just have another kind of whatever happens is going to happen. I don't think we got much control over it, to be honest with you. And
Yeah. No.
it's like then everybody can cool off again, like we can start talking. We'll be deer hunting then. And
everybody's afraid until this gets ironed out, and then I think everybody will be like, okay, well,
yeah,
I'm doing what I normally do on November 6th.
yeah.
Hopefully.
Election years are just miserable. Like it's just like not miserable.
No, they're pretty rough, especially with the state. Well, with the states being what they were, because I never really cared when I was younger in my 20s.
Yeah.
But when Donald Trump ran, it started making me pay attention. I'll be honest. I didn't pay attention. I would have. I disliked George W. Bush 100%. Obama, I didn't know any better. I would have voted for him his first term, and then I learned, and I would not have voted for him his second term. I think Obama was garbage. McCain was garbage. Everyone until Donald Trump has pretty much been garbage, in my opinion. JFK was probably a good president, but I'm just talking in my lifetime. I think Reagan did some good things, but I think they're more installed than they are chosen by the people anyway. Even if we do elect them, we only get two choices, and the media pumps up the one that they can sell to the American public. And honestly, it's the two sides of the same coin. That's my belief. I think Trump is different because he's not the same. He's not the same politician. Or RFK, which he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell to get elected. He's basically just dragging down Trump right now. But anyway, with that said, I'll be ready for it to be over with because the rut starts right around that time and starts getting heated up, and I need to be able to concentrate.
Yeah.
They're watching the results from the deer stand. Okay.
Yep. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't know, man. You worry how extreme it's going to get between now and then too. Like, what are they going to do? What kind of political trick are they going to pull? You just want it to be fair and nothing crazy, and just you want the whoever we vote for, and we want that person to win, and they actually win or they actually lose. It's like I just want things to be how it's supposed to be,
Yeah, can we just go back to politics as normal? Like both sides. If anyone's watching that runs anything on both sides, can we just go back to normal where we just vote and then the president goes in and does what they want to do? And
have like a handful of good, cordial debates that's on, like, I don't know. They should just randomly start a YouTube channel that's not left or right.
Yeah.
And just live stream it on there for everybody to watch.
Get two people, get two people that go both ways, but not Destiny. Get I see him all the time blowing up my feeds. I'd love to see Joe Rogan do it.
Dude, that'd be awesome. That's like the obvious choice. I don't know if he would do it, but
or Patrick Bet-David, and maybe some other liberal. Like I watch those guys. Two main big guys like Tucker Carlson would be a great one because he's a libertarian. He's kind of down the middle. He's a Trump guy, but I think only because it's obvious that if you don't vote for Trump, the country's pretty much lost. That's crazy, James. 250,000 people outside the building to see Trump.
25,000.
Is that 25? Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Still a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of folks.
250,000 would be a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm like, holy crap, whole city. Did you get in to see him, James?
He saw him earlier in the thing.
Yeah, man, that's the thing, man. Trump will shake people's hands at these events, and like I think you got to pay, like, donate money to a certain amount of money. But I've got a friend, and his wife's met him like 4 or 5 times. Like, she goes to all of them when they come around here. They have a lot of money though, so I think she donates quite a bit. And
yeah,
her whole family gets to go back. Like, everybody goes back there, and they get to shake the president's hand. Like,
dang,
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I watched him and Bryson DeChambeau. They played 18 holes of golf together, and they filmed it. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just a normal guy.
Yeah, really. He was. It was very normal. He's good at golf too. Actually, he's actually good at golf. Like, I am a golfer, and he's pretty good for an old. Like, he's 70, whatever. Yeah, he's 73 or whatever, however old he is. But I could see him being a 6 handicap.
Yeah, he's got a good swing, man. I mean,
yeah, he hits it far for an old guy.
Yeah, he's 78.
78, yeah.
Or he'll be 78. I think he'll be 78 if he's sworn in. He'll be 78.
Yeah.
Or he is 78 this year, I think.
Yeah.
Because half mile line, man. That's the thing, man. You see all this stuff on the news, and it's like so fake. Like, I was telling Josh earlier when we got on here, the new thing is JD Vance is weird. And so for like 2 days, every single channel you go to, the talking heads are like, their campaign is just really weird. He's weird. JD Vance is weird. And it's like they're all saying the same thing. And I'm like, Kamala's freaking weird, man.
Yeah.
The Democrat Party is weird. It's like, they're trying to label him. They're trying to stuff Trump does, where he calls like Crooked Joe Biden or Creepy Joe Biden or whatever, Crooked Joe or Crooked Hillary and all those names that he calls them. I think they're trying to attach something to JD because, at this point, what you're going to get to Trump.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ben Shapiro said he's like black socks. You can put more mud on them and they're still black socks. Like, literally everything that could damage Trump has come out. I just don't that could even be remotely thought to be true. Of course, if you hate him, like he's a space alien that's hell bent on destroying the world. Like, there's a handful of people that probably believe that too. But he's had a lot of stuff. Yeah,
well,
Obama.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but there's a documentary about Kamala Harris that Daily Wire did about. It's called Scamula. It's like it is. I've threatened to sit down and watch it, but I'm like, I have already have a fairly good opinion of fairly good grasp of what kind of person she is, But I mean, they like. The politicians just like pull these like sap stories that aren't even true about themselves. And, they hear them about someone else and all of a sudden that's their story. And it's weird, man. It's super weird. Like she talks about like, she's dark complected or whatever, obviously. And
she's whiter than I am.
She talked about,
she takes bleach, dude. She gives Michael Jackson a run for his money.
Anyway, she talks about like being, oppressed growing up and all that. And come to find out, like her mom and dad were like very wealthy. She went to some private school in Canada. She wasn't even in the US for her, like, her youth or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she went to law school after that, she got into law school and, it's like why? And then you could see clips of her saying about how she like grew up in this,
they just lie. They just lie.
Yeah.
They count on the ignorant voter is what they do. The guy that goes, my daddy voted Democrat, I'm gonna vote Democrat. I don't care who it is. That's who they, and then there's just absolutely no genuine, none of them are genuine. Like she was talking the other day about how she's like, went to the record store. She came out with all these, traditionally, I'd say like R&B, popular records, and which what you would think within the Black community would be popular, right? And it's like even all the people that were even commenting on this thing were like all Black folks, and they were like, "Man, this ain't real." Just now got these saying that She said, I can cook a mean thing of collard greens. I'm like, you ain't never cooked them. So maybe some Jamaican jerk chicken, but you have never done collard greens, man. Like, you ain't from the South.
I know, that's what I just quit pretending that you're someone you're not. That's what's so frustrating. I think that's what the draw to President Trump is to me, is like he's arrogant sometimes, and but he doesn't pretend like he's not. He's
Yeah.
you
What you
know
see is what you get.
yeah. So that's what's frustrating. It's just I don't like two-faced people that act like they're someone else. That makes me irritated.
Yeah, I don't ever see myself voting for a Democrat. I just never don't. They're too crazy. And what's crazy is like Obama, he would be considered right wing. Like that's how far to the left they've gotten. Like I remember those good old days when Obama wanted to lock up the border, and he was actually nicknamed the deporter in chief because of all
Yeah.
the people he deported, and he didn't believe in same-sex marriage and all those things that he said back then. And he had some good things that some plans, but of course, once he gets elected, his handlers tell him what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
And he quickly bought into that, as he probably had to, or else they would have released the secret of Big Mike and whatever on the world. But I mean, I don't know, man. We're just gotta stay prayed up, man.
Yeah.
His will be done, and even if that is for Kamala, or what'd you say, Scamala?
That's what the video is called. The movie's
Yeah,
called
even
Scamula.
yeah,
Scamula.
even if Scamula makes it into office, I mean, it's God's will. Unfortunately, we haven't been acting right, in America. So that's what we
Yeah.
get, I think. Yeah, JFK. Yeah, JFK would have been he would be far right right now. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Like normal is like Trump is really not traditionally right wing. Like he's more centrist Democrat than he is right wing. But his policies make sense. The only thing is probably he's a little bit more friendly to the corporate side,
Sure.
to the business side of America than Democrats have been in the past, like an old school Democrat. Like these new ones, they're so bought and paid for by the corporations, as well as a lot of the Republicans too. But like if you go back and you look back in the day, they actually, I probably would have agreed with a lot of the stuff that they were selling back then too.
Have you seen the meme or the theory on Facebook that goes around about how politicians should have to wear patches of their highest supporter, highest monetary supporting,
Like NASCAR.
like a NASCAR racer.
Yes.
So we know who influencing them.
Yeah, they'll all have this giant BlackRock on their shirt. Under that would be like Raytheon, what is
Pfizer.
Boeing, Pfizer.
Yeah.
Pfizer will be a big one. Yeah, Pfizer will be a big one on there too. That'd be great. That'd be so
my grandparents, when I was young, were Democrats. I mean, they were very proud Democrats, but I mean, my grandma's not anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think you gotta,
So it's insane how different things are.
Yeah. I don't worry about much, but it is it's more frustrating than it is. I guess I'm a little worried in this election because I feel like we've got such a good thing going here in America, and we always have. And even as bad as it's gotten here in the last 20 years, it's still so much better than other parts of the world. And I'm just afraid that people don't appreciate that enough, and they won't vote to save it. They won't really do their due diligence and look at the issues. I think they look at it as more of a popularity contest, and they're like, "Oh, first black female, whatever." She likes trans people, and that's where I'm at. I'm going to vote for her. But yet, we're on the brink of nuclear war. We're being invaded from the South. You got all this money in politics that needs to be gone. And that's what people vote with is their emotions, which is sad. Like, I just strictly want someone in there to stay out of my business and to,
run the country.
Just
doing the best you can do it.
Yeah. Keep us out of wars, keep our money here. Encourage businesses to flourish, American businesses to flourish.
Quit taxing the lawn mowing companies so much.
Quit taxing all lawn mowing companies. and I'm gonna pay if that tip thing, every lawn I cut, I'm getting tipped on. It's just they don't pay me, they tip me to cut their yard. It's $3 cut, $47 tip minimum. That's what I'll do. $3 cuts, $47 tip minimum. Feel free to get more. That'd be awesome. I'd be like, send that as a tip.
Oh, Purpose Bound Adventure says, I hope my dad doesn't vote Democrat. He passed 7 years ago.
Yeah, I like those shirts that say, when I die, don't let me vote Democrat.
Well, I'm sorry about your dad, man, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah, my dad died last year. He'll probably vote Democrat, unfortunately.
You mentioned just things getting worse in this country. That's the one thing I get worried about is the increase. You know, Jesus talks about the increase in Christians being persecuted. It's like we really haven't felt that in the United States, not to a level, that some countries have in the past.
No, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah, but I hope we stay that way,
Yeah. Mockery gets mockery, and definitely we're treated as Christians. There is a war on us, but it's not open, like publicly. People aren't, and make Mopars cheap again.
I saw that. That's what I was laughing at.
Yeah, it needs to be like make everything cheap again. But yeah,
we can afford Mopars again.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, did you see that General Lee that I passed me on the interstate in my video today?
Not with the Hodge twins in it?
Huh?
See, the Hodge twins are giving away a General Lee?
No.
Yeah, they're giving one away with a Dodge Ram Power Wagon too. They're giving two things away. They got a giveaway. They do giveaways like all the time. And the Hodge twins, they're in it. And they
really?
yeah, it's got the flag on it and everything, man. Those guys are awesome. They're both in it, and it's like they're playing the music, and they use like the font that Dukes of Hazzard used to use, and like they're driving it, and they're kind of using that old grainy screen, like
like you were watching,
Well, and they were driving it and playing the music, and it was like Kevin, Keith, because as like where you say Luke, Bo,
Yeah, that's funny.
No, it's funny as heck. Well, yeah, they're giving one away. You can have one.
That'd be cool.
I had a friend of mine that had a 68 Dodge Charger. I was telling my wife about it because we were watching. I made her watch Blade the other night since he was in Deadpool. All I've been seeing on like TikTok is how they brought Blade back for Deadpool, and I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And he has I think his is James will know, but I'm pretty sure that's a 68. Might be a 69 Dodge Charger that he drives in that. But a 68, I think we talked about that. My neighbor used to have a 68. It was primer black because he didn't know what color he'd paint it. So it's that same flat black color that Blade has in his. It looks just like the car. Has like the same wheels. Pretty cool. Yeah, I thought it was a 68 because I think the 69 had the covers over the headlights, didn't it? Or did the 68 have that too? I can't remember. One had covers over the headlights and the other didn't. That opened up. I think I'm right on that.
I don't know.
I know James will know because he's a Mopar freak.
Yeah.
Because I think one of them had headlights that the headlights are different on them. I know that much. On the 68 and 69, because my friend had a 69 with a 426 Hemi in it, and my other friend had a 68 with a 440 in it. I'm not a car guy, but I knew that. I remember that growing up because he used to sit in the garage with that. He lived across the street. He used to sit in the it's the split grill. That was it. It was a split grill. Yeah, because it had the solid grill all the way front, and it did. They lifted up. I remember they did lift it up. It wasn't the headlights; it was the grill. Yep, those are awesome cars.
Oh yeah,
they had the best looking cars, I think, back in the late '60s, early '70s. Those were by far.
Yeah, everything was a little better back then. It seemed like I don't know. Things were more handmade looking. I don't know if that's the way to describe it, but just tougher.
I watched. There was something on TikTok. A guy had a barn find. It was a Mustang Mach 1. I don't remember the year on it. It had the. I think they all had it, but it had those things in the back. I don't know what they're called. James will know, but it had those. It looks like shades, like on your house shades, but they're black. They're in the back. I can't think of the name of them. Anyway, he had those. He had that. They pulled it out and they washed it off, and it was like almost perfect, like no rust on it. It had some blemishes on it, and it was covered in like 2 inches of dust.
Yeah,
took pressure. The interior was perfect, and it was just been sitting in a barn for like 30 years.
Dang.
Yeah, I was like, "What? Awesome. That'd be cool. It's cool to find that."
Yeah,
Yeah.
My dad had his first car was a Nova. but I think like it's maybe 68 or 9 Nova.
Yeah. Yeah, they were
But
cool. I don't think people knew what they had back then. I think.
no, well, it wasn't. They weren't anything back then. Everybody seemed like they had something like that.
No.
Um,
Louvers. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that thing was so cool.
yeah. Anyway, we can talk about anything else tonight.
Let's see. Let's see what else we can talk about. I can talk today. You know that.
um,
You been fishing any? Or did you
uh,
let that go?
no, I haven't. I haven't been going. No, I went up and when we were in Michigan, I went, but that was it. That was just off Dave's pontoon boat.
Yeah.
That was
So
pretty.
I paid off the truck, sold the boat, paid off
Catch
a credit
side by
card.
side.
Yeah, and bought a side by side.
Yeah.
like more than my wife's car side by side. Like, what the heck? Like we're
Have you
paying
guys
off.
been driving it, or has it just been sitting in the
Oh yeah,
garage?
we've been driving it. We get
Oh,
out
good.
at night and go drive it around and go look in fields. And
Well,
so 4 nights bucks.
when I come up there and to velvet hunt, we'll have to go drive it around.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go drive around. Well, we can't really drive around late in the afternoon because we'll be in the stand. But
No, but maybe we'll use it or something like
yeah,
I don't know.
it's got air conditioning, so maybe we'll sit in.
Well,
Well,
we may use it a lot then if it's
well,
hot.
they knocked out, so it's not rifle anymore. They got rid of that, so it's bow only this year.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, they went back to bow only this year. So that's why I got to put some salt and cameras out and find you something for bow season. Yeah, there and see what I got out there. There
Well,
should be
so
some
at
good
least I don't
ones.
have to wear any orange. That'd be less clothes I have to have on.
Exactly. Yeah, you can wear a t-shirt and shorts, tank
Yeah.
top, bug spray, and some shorts, and 3 thermocells,
Yeah.
and we'll be sitting in
And a
saddles
gallon of water.
in a gallon of water. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll be sitting in saddles.
Oh,
God,
wow.
it was hot last year. Man, that was so hot.
Man, yeah. I mean, we'll find out here in a couple weeks or whatever, see what the weather's going to be. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to go hunting again. I'm just.
I know you're fired up, aren't you? Are you going to go? Did you decide whether you're going to go to Kentucky or not? Or are you just going to?
I don't know yet. If I go, it'll probably be with a family. Early season there, like we'll go camping and I'll go hunting then.
Yeah.
Before I go down there. But if they don't go, I probably won't because I'm going to go up to Wisconsin with those guys. But I mean, there's a good chance we'll go to Kentucky though. You gonna come up there?
I don't know. I mean, I might do something with you this year. Go up to Kentucky. I think. Well, you'll have a license too to come back down here to rifle hunt when the rifle season opens.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to. I don't know what my plans are. I think I'm going to. Let me see. I know that I'm going to hunt Illinois quite a bit this year. I'm going to hunt it a lot more than I have in the past. And what, like Brandon, we got that camper for the back of the truck, and I'm going to pull the Can-Am and drive it it's just to drive around, so I can just keep the camper parked. That makes sense. I can put tags on it and a blinker kit. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't know what the insurance would cost on one of those things a year if I did all that. It might be expensive.
I don't know.
It's fun riding it around, man. I had one before and we got rid of it because I never used it. But, I just let Brandy get her a drink. She fixes her little gin and tonic or something.
Yeah.
And we go riding around looking at deer. Man, we saw 3 good ones the other night across the road from us. Yeah, like it was, we had that little cool front come in last weekend.
Yeah.
And we went riding it across the highway, and there's a bunch of bean fields over there. I mean, deer were out everywhere. And a bachelor group, probably $3. They were all, 3 of them, it was $4. One cross run front, I didn't see it, but 2 of the other 3, they were Pope Young.
Dang.
Easy. Like they were probably one like mid 120s to probably like 135 maybe. And then there was another one they're just slightly smaller. They're kind of hard to judge in velvet, but
yeah.
If I was guessing, I would guess that when they came out of velvet, they're going to be right there in that like 125, like 132, somewhere in that range. Probably 3-year-olds out that early in the evening. They were in cotton field too, which was crazy. I guess they eat cotton too.
Yeah.
Or cotton stalks or whatever. But yeah, we did that. So that's all. I told her, I was like, man, I tell you what, I got a little big eyed on that. Polaris makes a new one. And my wife had to slap some sense into me because I was like, well, what would this one cost? Dude, they were those Polarises, the new 1500. It has heated seats,
Yeah.
like all this stuff, like crazy. It's like a truck, $47,000.
Oh my gosh.
It is nice. And I was like, I was thinking about it, and I left, and I was like, what was I thinking, man? I was like this close, man. I was like, well, how much more would that payment be on it? Because the interest rate was a lot cheaper, or a little cheaper. And I was like, I was trying not to be an idiot with it. And I was like, well, no, I've had a Can-Am. I'll just buy that one.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but we don't have kids and any
Yeah.
bills, and I need some write-offs for work, so I don't have to keep sending,
Yep.
sending Zelensky money there all the time.
There you go.
You
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I should have bought a Jeep. I thought about that like the night I came home and I actually like had some time and Randy went to sleep. I was sitting there laying in bed and go, damn, I could have bought a Jeep.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I was like, dang, I could have just bought a Jeep, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys will enjoy it, that's something.
What's Dan up to? What's he going to do this year?
I don't know. I think they got Nebraska. They're going to go to Nebraska again early season. I didn't get to talk to him very much this weekend. He just was bombarded with folks talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that maybe he drew Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So
he got Iowa last year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got Iowa this year too.
Yeah. Chris, challenge.
Ahead.
Yes, but if we're doing challenges, I probably won't. And the THP guys quit doing that. Their challenge. They haven't done it for a few years.
I enjoyed those challenges that they do with the team ups, with like the Untamed guys and those guys from New York, the Just Hunt Club, and I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah,
I like it when Zach goes back to Ohio and gets all his buddies together and they do deer drives.
Yeah, those are always good videos.
Those are fun. Those are fun to watch. I've never done anything like that. I don't really have interest in it, but it does kind of look like it does look fun.
Yeah, I'm sure if you got into it, it'd be it's probably fun. We used to do a lot of deer drives around here. We haven't done them in years, but
yeah, I don't think I've ever done one, to be honest. I always felt like that's fun, like with a group. I think a deer drive would be fun, but for me, my whole passion is actually tricking the animal and getting him in that bow range and getting like that's winning. Even if I don't kill him, if he just comes in range, I've won. I'm good.
100%. Yep.
John likes getting their pictures. Like John doesn't even care to kill them anymore. He just like, if I can get their pictures, I win.
Yeah. He likes sharing pictures with you.
Is that where you're at, Chris? Is Georgia?
I won't be to Georgia this year. I may come down there one year. I'm going to go hog hunting down there again. I'm sure of it. But
you can go hog hunting down here. They're starting to come into.
Oh, really?
John's is. Yeah, they're not far from his place.
Oh no.
I live in Tennessee, so.
Yeah, you guys aren't too far apart.
I'm super far from Georgia.
Well, I better start shooting my bow a little bit, huh?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess you better. Yeah, you got 3 weeks. Yeah. I'll have your room ready in there. I got pictures of Maddie. I took some pictures off the internet. I put them in there, make you feel at home.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Maddie
it.
and Huck and some family pictures in that room. And that's now Josh's room. Like it's not even whose room is that? They sleeping in Josh's room? Yeah, they're sleeping in Josh's room.
That's funny. So, all right, everybody, we're gonna get off here. Hit the subscribe button wherever it's at. I think it's over here. Oh, over there.
I can't see
hit the thumbs up for me. Appreciate everybody. Talk to you later.
Have a good week. See ya.
God bless you.